Alright, so looks like we have ourselves another male for this point, and it looks like we're gonna have ourselves the exact same male as the forms of how it does it previously, so even then, expecting that we can actually read up the actual letter, and turns out then, you know, we get ourselves 20 extra lives back after, you know, every time you know, turn off the game and then reset the game or something like that, then your lives will be able to be reset back to 5 you go, so kind of a bummer, but even then though, that's the only thing I must confess about this point. So, but hey, on the plus side though, it gives Luigi a lot more extra lives than the forms of how it does it for Mario though, that's for sure. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Piglet here once again from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos of course. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Super Luigi Galaxy in the Super Mario Galaxy game for the Nintendo Wii / Nintendo Wii U as a digital downloadable version of the game. And yeah, last time we actually did manage to, collected some more power stars in the Fountain Dome, and we managed to beat the likes out of Bowser for the first time for Luigi. So today for this episode is the fact that we're about to continue on and move on to the next dome on the forms of Super Luigi Galaxy, and that will have to be by the forms of, what else? A kitchen dome. So, again, we have to go for the exact same order as before, and, you know, this time around though, we're playing as Luigi, of course. So, but again, not much else to be explained about this for the most part though. So even then though, onwards to the first galaxy in the kitchen dome to start off with, we have, you know, Beach Bowl Galaxy. So even then though, on to Sunken Treasure. So, there might be some little bit of a difference between the actual swimming controls from the likes of whenever you play as Mario from this game. Now, you remember from the forms that the Marios run through of this game, that normally we don't actually lose too much air whenever you, like, shake the Wii modes until you're able to actually, like, you know, swim a lot more faster than attempted to. But for Luigi this time around, though, as you can tell, that his air meter doesn't seem to able to actually just to live on for that part. Until, if you shake the Wii remote, then obviously the actual air meter will start to able to decrease a little bit. Well, in this case, to be more accurately, a little bit much. Because of that, though, you see why it's just we're able to actually continue swimming for this point. So even then, that, for instance, I need to able to, yeah, as you can see, it did manage to drain my air meter slightly. So even then, generally, you could probably get the idea. You probably won't able to shake the Wii remote all the time as Luigi, just because of how the fact that you really need to watch your air meter at all times. Because again, if you let your air meter will run out, then obviously you will instantly die if you manage to go underwater for too long. So, yeah, you probably get the idea of how this will go. So even then though, that's as far as I can go for this point. So yeah, today was actually forms of the 13th of May, in this case in 2019. So in this case, I believe we almost got ourselves about, I would say by the forms of how the fact that we actually got ourselves 8 more days to go, in this case 7 more days potentially speaking, or until tomorrow's case, that, well, Team Sonic Racing will be releasing on the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So even then, I'm really looking forward to able to try that game out. Specifically, I'll play that on my own time on the PlayStation 4, just like in Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania Plus and all that stuff. And, that's as far as I'm usually trying to go for that point, for that, what have you. So even then though, of course the actual Let's Play of Team Sonic Racing should be on its way until next year, but the version we are still expecting to be able to be playing on is of course the Nintendo Switch version, because, well, you guys should already know about the drill for that point. So anyways, let's go ahead and grab some of these star bits before we can do anything, just in case if we can able to grab some more of them when it comes to the Hungry Luma stages like so. So yeah, for Luigi right there, you can actually perform several shortcuts, as you can see right there, due to its very, very ridiculously high with this little triple jump. So even then though, if you want to do a speed run type like I seem to do that right there, then you can able to actually just do a ridiculously high jump, you know, triple jump on that specific 2 sides of the actual pavement right there. So even then though, that way you could able to actually easily get your way onto the top of the actual mountain or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it's called though. I do apologize for that particular point, because even then, it's almost about a month since we've actually last touched upon this game. So because of that though, then you know, me and Deathly are going to be focusing on some PlayStation titles at this point. Like for instance, I'm about to be able to go back to Klonoa Daughter Phantomile until tomorrow, and especially notable for Thursday, potentially. And as for Pac-Man World, where definitely he's still gonna go on to that game, well, he needs to take a break for a little while. See, Fernando, because of that, though, he had a lot of exhaustions after he forms of, like, some trial and error when it comes to, like, you know, Pac-Man World 1 game. So, anyways, now let's move on to passing the swim test mission. See, Fernando, to be expected, we need to get ourselves the, you know, the gold shell as it is. See, Fernando, that way we could able to actually bring it back to the coach himself. So, that's as far as I'm aware for that. You here to take the swimming school's final swim test? Yes, of course. This test is all about underwater shell collecting. Bring me back the gold shell and it's an automatic A grid for you. Thanks for that. But of course we already know about this test because obviously much like the Mario version of this particular game, well, we still need to able to actually just snag the actual gold shell from one of those penguins here. See, Fernando, but again, you really need to be very careful not to lose it though, because if you accidentally chuck it by complete accident, then I believe you have to re-grab the actual shell again. So, what the hell? Okay, I first thought the camera decided to screw me up at that point right there, but nonetheless though, I still managed to get the gold shell as this. See, Fernando, yeah, this is as far as I can most likely concern of. So, but anyways though, let's take it all the way back to the coach himself, and amazing, I don't think you'll actually be able to bring it back. Well then, here's a big gold medal for you. In this case, a power star, mind you, Coach Penguin, so, yeah, thank you for that. Nice job on the test, but are you even one of my students? Well, not exactly, mind you, but hey, at least let's give it a well, but even then, I have no idea why I'd really say that, because other than the fact that, well, not much else to really talk about this at this point, folks, until whenever I discuss upon more details upon, you know, Klonoa Daughter Phantomile Let's Play carry on doing, like, you know, I'm doing it for tomorrow, and especially for this Thursday, potentially, so yeah, you probably get the idea for switching alterations between certain Let's Plays that we are still carry on doing. Like, for instance, that we keep on changing these actual schedules up for quite some time at this rate. But even then, though, that hopefully when that's been done, then we can able to, well, until, you know, 2020 and stuff like that, we most likely have to focusing on a little bit of Let's Plays for that time. So, here we go, on to the third mission in Beach Ball Galaxy. We have the secret underwater cavern. And conveniently enough, in the forms of Cap King 74 Let's Play of Super Luigi Galaxy, he never got to that point because I think it's pretty obvious for this point because even Nando that he obviously trying to cancel that particular Let's Play of Super Luigi Galaxy because, well, he might actually go for the exact same levels and the exact same time, but even Nando accept the fact that obviously the huge difference between you know, Super Mario Galaxy and Super Luigi Galaxy is obviously the actual different playable character choice. So, yeah, it's still pretty obvious for that point right there, but honestly, I really don't mind replaying the game twice for that particular part right there. Although, it might be a little bit more of a, kind of a similar way for how it does in Sonic Heroes, and especially noticeable with those two playthroughs of River Survival Mode in Super Mario Party. And speaking of Super Mario Party River Survival Mode, that I've realized about the fact that both Sonic and Pinkie Pie, unfortunately they didn't get a chance to able to actually go through River Survival Mode for 10 playthroughs of the game. Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure they did manage to done 6 playthroughs of that mode. So because of that though, I think it might actually start to get slightly repetitive once in a while. But even then, I still found that to be quite an enjoyable mode with River Survival Mode in the end. Well, as far as where Sonic and Pinkie Pie already mentioned about this quite a few times potentially. So, yeah, you probably get the drill for that part. So, anyways, we still need to use that Cattle Quack before we're able to, you know, just trying to get ourselves the question mark coin over there. And, you know, we might as well get ourselves our next power-up for Luigi, such as, well, you transformed into Ice Luigi, shake the Wiimote to skate, and you can walk on water too. So, but again, same old stuff as the forms of how he does it on Mario's playthrough, but obviously the difference is that, well, we're playing as Luigi. That's all there is to know. Although, unfortunately, though, this would be, well, not so much for this beginning point right there, but until when it gets to the point until whenever we do the Purple Comets challenge missions, that think this will actually be the final time we're going to be seeing the ice power-up, because even then, well, the ice flower power-up, I should say, but even then, that's, until when it gets to the sequel, which is Super Mario Galaxy 2, then, obviously, that, we're never going to see the ice flower ever again. Well, unless if you're trying to hack the game, and then you weren't able to actually access to previous power-ups from, you know, from Super Mario Galaxy, the original game, to say the least from that, but, I'm not exactly a huge expert when it comes to hacking things here and there, but because of that, I might actually come across into virus or glitches or anything like that. I got to be honest here, but still. Alright, so that's that done, and now let's go back into Beach Ball Galaxy and onwards to, you know, the third, well, in this case, potentially the fourth Power Star we need to grab for that stage. So, because obviously the secret mission in that particular level, it was actually wall kicking up the waterfalls. So it's one classify for that specific secret mission's name. So you know, you probably get the idea for that. So yeah, a few things I just want to explain about this actually. Aside from we've already got ourselves 8 more days to go until you know, Team Sonic Racing will be on its way on, you know, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One potentially. But there's also another thing I just want to talk about actually. For those of you of the bronies out there, including myself included, we've only got about next week for the UK audiences, for the bronies, for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic TV series by this point. We only got about next week until Season 6 completed DVD collection will be on its way and during, you know, next week. So even then though, that I've already pre-ordered it alongside with Team Sonic Racing for both versions, no, except, well, you know, the only exception is the Xbox One version, because we still have not got the Xbox One, so, and plus I still find it to be kind of a dumb name in my opinion, just because, well, why did it just call it Xbox 720? I don't understand why, but anyways. And, yeah, alongside with those particular stuff. Oh, speaking of the forms of how the fact that with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 6, complete DVD set is going to be on its way on until next week, actually. I've heard there's going to be Season 7 complete DVD is going to be on its way until at some point in September this year. So even then, though, well, I guess the only thing it needs left now is, of course, although we still haven't heard some more information about the North American release of Season 8 complete DVD box set, because I know for the fact that it's been such quite a while since we got ourselves the actual new DVD from, you know, the USA countries, because, well, I think they may actually attempt to focusing on something else potentially, but even then though, I'm not exactly sure how to explain that, so, but I digress. So let's go ahead and just smash this little crystal, and sure enough, we're able to obtain the Power Star itself. And we'll do a nice little backflip at the end. So, but generally speaking, that, yeah, that's all I could really come across for that. So, yeah, with that shortcut I just performed earlier ago, that, it makes it so easier, especially with Luigi's physics and all that stuff. So, generally speaking, that he's definitely a little bit more easy when it comes to, like, performing shortcuts and stuff like that for that nature. Especially with the higher jump and all that stuff. So, yeah, you probably get the idea of how this will go. So, anyways, let's go ahead and go back to the actual Silas system or something like that. And of course, no sign of the prankster comments just yet though, because we haven't exactly got into the even numbered the amount of stars that we have until whenever we get up to like how many power stars we have. I totally forgot, because even then, although findings out whenever we start off this next level, which is Bubble Breeze Galaxy through the Poison Swamp. And of course, we still need to utilize the bubble system again. See, Fernando, let's see how much power stars I've got again. Of course, 31. So, until when I get to like 32 power stars, then I shall be able to actually let the prankster comments will appear on, you know, the Beach Ball Galaxy. So, that's as far as I can most likely aware of. So, but I digress. So far, not too many deaths on here somehow. At least, unlike in the beginning. That because of that, though, it's kind of hard to able to get used to with Luigi's physics sometimes, because, well, it's, you know, it's hard to explain, because even then, though, it's been such quite a few days, well, actually, almost about a month ago, potentially, since, well, ever, because, you know, we're most likely focusing on, well, aside from the, you know, Sonic has recently finished up with Shadow the Hedgehog Let's Play, recently, during about, a couple of days ago, actually. So even then, though, that I cannot even believe that we're almost there in the forms of the halfway point of May already. And speaking of which, until next month anyway, though, we get ourselves, you know, Nintendo's E3 2019 conferences and stuff like that. Even with the Nintendo Direct will be slowly approaching. And I don't know if it's possible you can able to actually skip this entire portion, but I would guarantee that I might not going to, because, well, I get a strong feeling it might actually contain the invisible walls, so let's not risk it too much. So yeah, generally speaking, whenever we're able to continue uploading Super Luigi Galaxy by this point, especially when it gets to at some point in June, even by that time we're able to actually, alongside we're able to finish up with the actual Let's Play of Klonoa Daughter Phantom Isle for the PlayStation, and then at the same time we can able to finish up with like Super Luigi Galaxy at some point, even with the entire Super Mario Galaxy Let's Play until at some point at the end of June, and then, you know, until the second half of the year, then, you know, definitely might actually go ahead and tackle through Super Mario Galaxy 2 until, you know, the second half of the year, as I said this before, like, you know, countless amount of times for the sake of this Let's Play. So even then, that's as far as I'm most likely aware of. So alright, so we need to be very careful at this point here, because obviously we really don't want to touch the swamp, because if you do, then obviously you have to restart the entire... Well, good thing about this level though is that it does offer you some quite frequent checkpoints. So there we go, that was it for this level. So sad to say is that this will be the final time we're going to be exploring this stage, but even then, although good thing about it with the actual bubble mechanic, well, this wasn't exactly the final time we're going to be seeing this particular bubble mechanics for that specific game, because until, you know, in one of the Trials of the Galaxies, then we shall be able to see that bubble controls for the final time in this game, because until the sequel, it will never bring that back, because even then, well, it might actually add something new to the table for this entirety of, well, the duologies of the Galaxy games. Well, I don't know exactly for surely for the entire, well, trilogy, if it's possible, if, you know, if they're going to be announcing the third Mario Galaxy game, I'm not exactly sure, or maybe Mario Odyssey 2, I really don't know to be exactly for surely, but even then, we'll explain more details about the forms of E3 stuff, assuming if I manage to able to, you know, carry on uploading this Super Luigi Galaxy playthrough until when it gets to the very end of that particular point. So alright, so here we go, folks, on to Fast Foes on the Cyclone Stone. Even end up, but again, time to perform this nice little shortcut, and that was really close by falling off to the actual planet right there. And, yeah, there's not much else I can really say. So, another thing I want to point things out, potentially, speaking of such, I do apologize if my audio for my commentary audio quality is a little bit more extremely loud than everything like that. So I must admit that I do apologize for that, because, well, I'm using a different USB port as opposed to my usual USB ports, because most of the time that it just keeps on disconnecting for no sortable reason on my... Well, let's just take, for example, on my third USB port that allows me to able to actually... Okay, I need to concentrate on this point here. Oh god, that was close. Whew, that was pretty close indeed, but even then I almost died by those little tox boxes and stuff like that for that nature, but hey, at least we did manage to make it towards the end at least. So let's go ahead and obtain the actual Power Star, and we're able to leave the entire galaxy itself. Of course, this won't be the final time for the for seeing Beach Ball Galaxy for quite some time until, you know, the purple coin challenges, as you probably expected from the Mario's playthrough, obviously. So we got 33 Power Stars, and we got about 1,936 Star Bits. So not bad, all things considered. And let's move on to the next galaxy that we can able to approach into. That will have to be Ghostly Galaxy. So I wonder where we come across into, I wonder, in the mansion this time around though. It could be either Mario, or Wario, or Yoshi potentially. Oh no, wait, it's still Luigi. Wait, what? How come it says Luigi's name onto that particular mission? Oh wait, I start things off like getting inside the actual mansion itself. Oh wait a minute. Could it be a different Luigi or something like that? Oh, of course, I'm going to be playing as the playable Luigi, of course, but... Okay, this is going to be pretty weird, because even then, this is kind of reminds me of that exactly same feeling of how... If you remember from the films of Back to the Future Parts 2 and possibly Part 1 potentially, or in this case just Part 2 in general, that Marty McFly managed to come across into the forms of Marty Jr. That's how the fact that if those two Martys on screen, that means how the fact that it might actually have themselves like two of them at the same time. And alongside with that, with a different age, all kind of... it's hard to explain because it's been a while since I actually watched the, you know, the Back to the Future trilogy. Steve Fernando, I must admit though right away, I haven't explained that much clearly for that part, so... But I digress. So let's go ahead and get some more star bits, go and think about it, and especially noticeable with, like, even though I do need to get a coin to able to actually restore my health completely, so... I suppose there's actually one last thing I could able to mention about this point for today's details for this point, folks, is that I'm afraid to say, when it comes to Banjo-Tooie Let's Play that we are still carry on doing, unfortunately though, that particular Let's Play we're able to actually just about to be deleted itself, because... similar to the forms of how it does it on Knight's Journey of Dreams, and especially noticeable with Splatoon, and especially noticeable with, you know, with Pac-Man World 1, that, we need to able to redo those, well, for a proper Let's Play of the games themselves, and hopefully without any further delays and stuff like that. And I'm afraid to say, you have to wait until when Banjo-Tooie Let's Play will be, properly do a proper Let's Play of that game and during at some point in next year in 2020, because obviously with the forms of the 20th anniversary of Banjo-Tooie titles. So it could be nice though to able to actually decide able to tackle for that game whilst Banjo-Tooie will become 20 years old until, you know, 2020. So of course, alongside with Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games for the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, you probably get the idea. What the hell are you trying to say, Luigi? I'm Luigi, not Mario. Oh wait, you seem to get confused because Mario is actually in disguise. Although, but generally speaking, that, wow, looks like we actually like, well, it kind of reminds me of Sonic Generations as well almost, and even Sonic Forces. Well, despite the fact that in the forms of Sonic Forces story wasn't exactly that great in my opinion, aside from that little questionable choices with classic Sonic Speed returning, but I digress. You'll transform into Blue Luigi and shake the Wii emotes to vanish. So, oh wow, I managed to extinguish those candles as soon as I transform into Blue Luigi, so that's pretty cool. So anyways though, again, not much to really say about this point for this point, so that's as far as I can most likely gather some information of all that stuff. So, but again, not much to really talk about this at this point during the later on though, so there's not much else to be said and done. So, anyways though, so let's go clip for this little cage there, and sure enough, we're able to bump into a replica of me. And this actually has a different dialogue here right away. Oh my, you are me? Well, I guess there is enough people in the universe for one person to look like me. Anyway, I found the power star, so let's take it. So yes, this particular incarnation of Luigi, in this case a twin, actually has an alternate dialogue. Whilst in the forms of the Mario version, well, obviously he just says like Mario or a brother or something like that. So, and I think generally speaking, it's the fact that when we get back to the actual Comet Observatory, I think Rosalina might actually say something a little bit different as well. And because of that though, she might actually say something like a twin. So, that could be one of those possibilities though. See, Fernando, 34 power stars, and especially noticeable with 1979 star bits.
Look.
Welcome back.
Look.
I can see your twin from here. If you ask him, I bet he'll help you search for power stars. And I'm sure he has a lot to tell you. You should go speak to him over there by the garage. So yeah, just like last time, I'm gonna have to speak to Luigi Twin right there, just to ensure for more missions and all that stuff along the way. So yeah, you probably get the idea for this little point right there. So anyways though, let's go ahead and speak to him quickly, and sure enough, we can able to sort things out. Hey, me, you're looking for power stars, right? I think you missed one in the Good Egg Galaxy. I'll write you a letter. If I find it, check your mail. And of course, much like in the forms of how it does it on Super Mario Galaxy mode, is that obviously we need to complete either one of those missions you need to able to achieve first. So, yeah, same old stuff as before, see Fernando, but this time around though, we're actually going to be going on to a different level as opposed to, I believe in a Mario's playthrough of this particular, you know, search for Luigi segments for this point, we most likely, go through Bubble Breeze Galaxy first and then just, search for Luigi. But, this time around though, since we've already accomplished, the Bubble Breeze Galaxy, so in this case, we'll go back into, Ghostly Galaxy quickly, and sure enough, we can able to get some more Power Stars as a matter of, you know, find the rest of them. So yeah, a very spooky sprint. So of course, much like before, I'm gonna have to save that for the next video because obviously I don't think I've got enough time left before I do anything like that. So even then, no, that might be seems the case. So, but again, I do apologize for my microphone's audio glitches and all that stuff. So I must admit that I do apologize. Even like almost extremely fuzzy and stuff like that sometimes. But then again, I'm using a different USB port to able to actually just to connect it from. Let me know in the comments below of when I was decided able to go after the much more better microphone audio, because I would love to able to actually hear that, because even then, I know some people seem to say that the actual sound mixing with the game audio, even with my commentary especially, looks very out of like, well, the sound mixing is kind of mixed bag. But apart from that, though, let me know in the comments. So, but I digress. So let's go ahead and grab the key. And let's go for this little Matter Splatter section again. But this time around, though, we are, you know, playing as Luigi, of course. So, I would love to appreciate if I was going to able to, like, speed things up just a little bit. But, unfortunately, that might not be the case, though, regrettably. So even then, let's just go ahead and just, you know, keep on grabbing more of those start bits, potentially. So, yeah, speaking of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, actually, with the forms of, like, Season 7 DVD complete set, at least specifically in our country until, you know, in September, I was really hoping that every single episode will be listed. Whereas, unlike in, you know, for whatever reason on Season 4, it just seems to be missing one episode, which appears to be that, which I'm sure many people already know. Even bronies, as a result of this matter too, they might actually find it's extremely disappointing with that particular missing episode. So even then, at least I still managed to got the spare DVD disc. They actually features Bats episodes. So even then, though, at least I got that. But I don't really think the quality itself might actually match any forms of how it does it on the DVD standard quality, or in this case the HD quality or something like that. So yeah, that's a little bit of a missed opportunity right there. So anyways, let's go ahead and just continuously doing some backflips, and sure enough, we're able to obtain the key, and we'll go ahead and leave the level entirely. Well, in this case of this mission, which appears to be Matter Splatter Mansion, so at least as far as I can most likely aware for that mission's name, so yeah, you get the suggestions for that point. And there we go. So I do apologize with my quietness going on right there, because, wow, I need to take myself too easy when it comes to, like, commentary on certain things. But until, you know, when it gets to June and stuff like that, then we can able to talk more details, especially thanks to that, you know, the upcoming Nintendo Direct on the forms of E3 2019. So that will be the definition of that's gonna happen, especially whenever I start to carry on doing the actual recording session on Super Luigi Galaxy kind of thing about it. So yeah, that's as far as I can most likely concerned of. And also, if you pause the game, once you obtain the Luigi letter, you can also see it from the actual pause menu. So even then, I don't think I actually show you guys for that on the Mario's playthrough, potentially. So even then, I forgot to able to actually just to point that out. So anyways, though, so speaking of such, speaking of finding Luigi, aka the twin, we need to able to find him for the, well, for a second time, potentially. So even then, no, but this time we need to head back to, well, Good Egg Galaxy, and just to select Dino Piranha mission, and we can able to see him just on top of the roof. So in this case, we need to jump from here, and head on to, no, what are you doing? You're not Santa Claus. Jeez, you haven't got any stockings or anything like that? Jeez, you meant to be able to go after your twin. Anyway, so we managed to make it there anyway. You came to save me again. I know you would rely on me. What? The Power Star? Oh yeah, got it right here. Oh jeez, that was kind of embarrassing whenever I did manage to reach on top of the actual roof, no problem, due to this really ridiculously high triple jump statement for Luigi, but then all of a sudden I just accidentally went inside the orange pipe. So that's kind of a weird situation, I feel like, because even then, I did not meant to shake the Wii remote, like I could do like a mid-air spin or something like that. I don't know. Luigi on the roof. So, yeah, we got 36 stars. So, and I believe so far we actually did collect it about 9 power stars so far. Even though not by much, but until later on though, then we're able to start to collect more. So, but anyways, though, I'm afraid to say, guys, we got the endings off at this point here. So join me next time on Let's Play Super Luigi Galaxy in the Super Mario Galaxy game. Is that we're about to be continue on exploring through the kitchen dome and collect some more power stars in the process. So see you guys then.